I don't think you hit record.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Once again, we are joined by the usual suspects, hosted by yours truly, Zach Drebin. Review Squad, the best version. Y'all know who we are. You know how we roll. So let's get into it. Naked Gun. Holy shit. Who would have thought we would ever get one of these again? Just to get right into it, I love the original three. Even the sequels, I'm a huge fan of. Sure, they're not as good or as sharp as that original film, but they're still a lot of fun. They're still really funny. Leslie Nielsen is as funny as he was in. He's as funny in all three as he was in the first one. So all the ingredients were still there. So some of my favorite comedies. So when they said they were doing this, I guess what we thought was going to be a full-on reboot at first, then the trailer revealed it was a sequel. uh, I was hyped. Like I was won over immediately by that first trailer. Hell, I was hell, I was optimistic right when they said that Liam Neeson was going to be cast because I don't know about y'all, but I've always thought that Liam Neeson's comedic chops were severely underrated. Like, dude, when he commits, he commits. Just watch Ted 2 if you want to know what I'm talking about. So, yeah, this was another one of my most anticipated films of the year. And did it deliver? Well, we'll get into it. John, thoughts on the originals?
I thought I've seen the first two. I never saw 33 and a third. I heard it was not very good, so I never watched it. But I love the first one. It's not in terms of like comparing other Zaz productions. I think Airplane is better, but I still have yet to see Kentucky Fried Movie or Top Secret. Those are the other two major ones that Zaz did. Um, but I really like the first one. I remember liking the second one. I'm like, okay, it's not quite as good, but it's still pretty good. Um, Leslie Nielsen is just what made those movies work, and we'll get to that when we talk about him. Is that he was a serious actor? Everyone forgets now that he was a very serious actor. He was in the Poseidon Adventure. He was in Forbidden Planet. He was in like all these very serious movies, and that was part of the reason why he was in that Zaz picked him, because they wanted like it to be treated seriously. So they got the serious actor and all these other like Beau Bridges in Airplane, or George Kennedy in Naked Gun, who was in the original Airport, which Airplane was making fun of. So they clearly knew what they wanted. They knew how to write jokes properly, and any Zaz production is just brilliant. And I just wish they did more movies together, because those three it was just a magic sauce that you could not truly replicate. Even if the sequels to various things were like Airplane 2, the sequel is like fine. It's not great, but it's still funny. But I think, yeah, I'm with you. When I heard Liam Neeson, I'm like, was gonna star in the movie, I was like, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be good, because that they didn't pick a comedian for the role. They didn't pick like some like they didn't get like Andrew Schultz to play this like over the it. They picked someone who was in serious action, for the most part, serious movies. I mean, he's friends with Seth MacFarlane, who produced the movie, so obviously, like, he was gonna do it. So I was like, you know what? I trust Liam Neeson. I trust the writers. I trust one third of the Lonely Island, who directed the movie, and I trust Seth MacFarlane. Yes, I know he gets a lot of flack for a lot of things, but I think when he's good, he's great. So I trusted a lot of people on this, and I thought that first trailer was really funny. So I'm like, I think this is going to be good, and we'll get into what we think later on when we get there. But yeah, I was very high expectations.
Devin.
So I didn't watch the sequels, but the original is fucking hilarious. Like I watched it again not too long ago. I think it still holds up. And I never realized because before I watched the movie, I remember watching the episode of Family Guy, PTV, and the opening of that episode is a pair of where Stewie fights the terrorists is an homage to the opening of Naked Gun. But yeah, the original is hilarious. Definitely one of the best comedies of the '80s. I wouldn't say it's my favorite comedy of all time because that will always be Holy Grail. But it is a comedy classic. It is a gem. And when this was announced, I'm like, okay. Then I saw that trailer, and I was like, oh, because I didn't know that it was gonna be Naked Gun because I see like this little girl like skipping into a bank. I'm like, okay, what is this? And then it's Liam Neeson dressed as the little girl,
Your
and they
ass.
revealed Naked Gun. And I said out loud, "All right, I'm in. This looks fucking funny." And it looks like it will respect the original classic. But what did I think? Stay tuned for that.
Alrighty, getting right into it. The positives. I'm just gonna say it right off the bat. I loved it. I think this might be better than the original. This might be my favorite one, which I know is crazy because we're talking about this versus the Leslie Nielsen classics, which this is a sequel to, but everything, damn near everything works. Comedy is subjective, so some jokes may not land for some may land for others, but damn near every joke, even the toilet humor landed for me. Everything down to where the dude's watching them in the apartment through the binoculars and they think they're doing stuff, but they're not really. That was the funniest bit of the movie to me. So was the bit with the snowman, which lo and behold, finally we got a good Jack Frost movie. Thank you. And even the bit where they're interrogating Buster Rhymes, I was like, hey, look, they finally arrested him for ruining the Halloween franchise. Thank you. But and even Danny Houston, I really liked in this as the villain. Like he's playing more of a caricature in this, ironically, than he was in Origins Wolverine. But he like everyone, he's having an absolute blast with this. But of course, the star of the whole thing is Leslie Nielsen. I thought he was perfect. Everything down to
Oh,
not
you mean Liam Neeson?
yeah, Liam Neeson. I'm sorry. Yeah, I
They
have a
have very similar names. I'm sure that was
yeah,
partially
I
why
am
they
yeah,
gassed
I'm
it.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Liam Neeson. I'm sorry. But yeah, I have a headache too. But yeah, everything down to not just his delivery, but even down to the mannerisms. How he carries himself is so similar, but not derivative of Leslie Nielsen. I was I was surprised because even with me, I had the highest expectations for this, the highest hopes, and this movie still managed to surprise me with just how well they did it. But yeah, like, and even Pamela Anderson was a lot of fun with this as the love interest, and that was another funny joke. Also, you know what? I will take the seat. Thank you. But yeah, everything on from a story level with how they're making fun of AI, like they're literally stealing a thing called plot device. Like I was like, yep, this movie has me. Yeah, everything down to the story, the humor, the acting, and even the way it's shot. Like it's not just acted; it is shot like like a serious, gritty action movie, like a cop action movie. But you got all this funny shit happening, and I love that they did that. It's a different way that they've shot it compared to how the original films were shot. But that's what I love about it, giving it its own visual identity. So, yeah, those are my positives.
So I'm right there with you, man. I loved this movie too, and I do agree it is better than the original. I don't think I've laughed this hard at a comedy in a while. I'm trying to think at the top of my head, like what comedy lately have like has like made me laugh. I mean, Novocaine was really funny. Hundreds of Beavers was hilarious. Holdovers was hilarious, but you know it was a but that was comedy and drama. But from beginning to end, I was laughing so hard I couldn't even breathe. Liam Neeson's comedic timing was perfection. The way this man would deliver these jokes was so fucking good. And it's like the movie is so goddamn funny. Like there's so many memorable highlights and jokes. I know you brought up two of my favorite moments. The bit with the fucking snowman. Just because it comes out of nowhere, like, oh, it's a cop movie, but all of a sudden the snowman comes to life and they're and Frank Drebin and they're making out. The snowman wants to join in, and then the snowman gets jealous. Like what the fuck is going on? Uh, and then there's a where he's looking at the two of them from like the from the heat goggles, and he thinks she's sucking his dick, and he thinks she's having sex with the fucking dog.
I'm sorry.
And when all the guys see Beth in the office, Frank's monologuing to himself about how hot she is. That she has a nice ass. But then but then Ed does it. And then the other people do it. They're all monologuing at the same time, and Frank's like, all right, enough. And even like some of like the background gags are fantastic. Like the little girls getting arrested, and the cops holding like the lemonade stand sign, and they're just talking about the police squad getting shut down, and there's a Spirit Halloween sign just being put over the building. Look, y'all know I love me some Halloween. I love me some Spirit, so I greatly appreciated that gag. But besides like the jokes, all another one of my favorite jokes is when they're all crying about their dads, and this bit made me laugh in the trailer too. And then it comes to the picture of fucking OJ Simpson, and he's like, other than that, like I loved all the acting. I already brought up Liam Neeson, Pamela Anderson, she was great as Beth. Uh, Paul Walter Hauser, she was great as Captain Ed, because that's fucking Stingray, and the cool kids love Stingray. And I'm glad Danny Houston got some redemption after starring as generic supernatural villain number 200.3 in Crow in Name Only. He was an entertaining bad guy. I also loved some of the cameos in here, like you see Priscilla Presley from the original movies as Jane. And then you see Busta Rhymes. You see Weird Al. He makes a comeback. Like, oh thank you. They're not plotting for you. Weird Al just got off the plane. And then Weird Al comes back. Like, all right, I'm gonna be the entertainment for the evil meeting. But I think the best cameo was Dave Bautista, just because it comes out of fucking nowhere. Like, all right, thank you for finishing my monologue. I just had to use the bathroom. Like, perfect. It was shot fantastic. Like you said, Zach, I love how like it's shot like a gritty action movie, but it's got all these jokes, like such a bloodless, seamless blending of like these tones. Score, well, not as memorable as the one from the original. Still really good. I've rambled on long enough. I want John to speak.
Okay. But you know what? Even though you did filibuster for a little bit too long, Devin, I did want to let you know. Nice beaver. I did get the popcorn bucket. There he is. There he is. My parents got mad at me that I got this because I keep buying popcorn buckets, but I don't care. I will keep buying popcorn buckets.
The irony, you love another movie that involves beavers.
Yes. And you know, I love a good beaver, whether it's hundreds of them or stuffed, which he does make a cameo. The stuffed beaver does make a cameo in the movie. I caught that. And you know, love a good bush. But you know, I did so I'm gonna go through that's actually gonna go supernova soon, Beetlejuice, the star. Fun fact. And I think we might be able to see it from Earth. Anyway, so Naked Gun, as I said before, I love the movie. I love the original movie, and I love Airplane, and I liked the first sequel. I like both sequels actually, Airplane 2 and 2.5. And I thought this was so fantastic. I think it's safe to say that we all pretty much love this movie. As I said, when I saw that first trailer, I'm like, oh, we're in for a good time. And I think this, you know, this cast was perfectly cast because you have Liam Neeson. He's done comedies in the past, like as you mentioned, Ted 2, he had that cameo. If I buy these tricks, will I be all right? Yeah, you should be all right, man. Like, say what you will about the Ted movies. I like the first one and I like bits and pieces of the second one. So, you know. But I love like Liam. If like somebody asked me if you could reboot Naked Gun, who would you cast as the main lead? I would probably have said Liam Neeson. I couldn't imagine a more perfect casting as someone who, you know, who does mostly dramas and action movies and all that stuff, and then having a comedy that lampoons that. It's just too perfect. And he understood the material. Like, I watched an interview with him where he was like, he's like, I had to like be the actor you always were. You have to take it seriously. And he kept telling himself that and that's what makes it so brilliant. And that's what made all these movies so brilliant, is that the deadpan playing it straight was what made it so funny. And it's very clear that Liam Neeson understood that, and all the actors and everybody in the production understood that. they not only lampoon cop dramas, but obviously action films, and film noir with the whole like monologue thing. And but that's like from what we've seen of the first one and all the other films and the TV show. And so I think what was so funny about that is just like they nailed everything. They really nailed all the things that made those movies good, but also feeling fresh and new. I thought Pamela Anderson, she was really funny. Like she nailed some of the more ridiculous humor when you thought she couldn't, but she did. Paul Walter Hauser, you know, he's got a good year. I mean, apparently, you know, and we're going to be discussing this tomorrow, but the cast of Fantastic Four in other movies, they're doing good. You got Weapons, you got this, you got Bad Guys 2. All of them have been, doing good for themselves. So congratulations, guys. But I think Paul Walter Hauser nailed it as well, again with the deadpan and kind of, yeah, you do have a couple over the top things with him, but nothing like that takes away from the movie. Luckily Liza Koshy was very minimal. I was kind of worried about her being in the movie. I thought it was like a stunt casting, but she did okay for what she had. Like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like amazing either. Danny Houston was great. I mean, the dude plays the bad guy in like pretty much everything. So like get like a classic bad guy actor to be in this, and it works. Kevin Durand as his silver-haired henchman, also great. Like he, played it seriously. He's like, wait a minute, this isn't the gas I normally smell. This isn't the way I fall asleep. I feel like that feels like something right out of Airplane. It's just so perfect. And I think it just goes to show like everybody in the movie understood the assignment. And with that, the humor, pretty much 99% of the jokes hit. Like I was laughing my ass off. Like pretty much you guys named every single fucking great joke in this movie. However, the one I think that made me laugh out loud the hardest in the theater when Pamela Anderson was talking with Danny Houston at the club. And he was like sharing a champagne with her. He's like, ah, yes, from Bill Cosby's estate. I was roaring in the fucking theater. I was fucking laughing. Oh my God. I'm like, that's the kind of fucking humor I want to see from this kind of fucking movie. That was probably my favorite joke. That and the OJ joke were probably some of the best jokes in the movie. I think the Bill Cosby one might be my favorite. I mean, but there was like as you said, the Spirit Halloween, the background gags, like, and that's again nailing what made those like movies so good to begin with, is because Zaz had a rule. If you have a gag going on in the forefront, you don't have anything going on in the background. However, if you have a gag going on in the background, you have to move the plot forward in the foreground. And they really nailed that. Like, for instance, like when they're walking through the police station, they're talking very seriously. And then you're like having all these gags, like the photo shoot for the fucking mugshot, or the girls with the lemonade stand, or like something like that. Like you have all that stuff in the background, but they're talking very seriously in the forefront. I love the coffee running gag. That was amazing. Like they just kept handing them like bigger coffee, like, oh, thanks. And then they throw the other one away or they dump it out. That was great. Oh, another gag that I liked is when he was checking out the crash site and he puts the glove on, feels his nose with the gloved hand, and then picks up the evidence with his bare hand. I'm like, that's great. That's amazing. Love that. But yeah, pretty much. Here's the thing. I know Devin doesn't like it, and that's fair. Like I get it. I didn't mind some of the lower brow humor in this because I feel like that's very Leslie Nielsen. Because famously, I don't know if Zach knows this, but famously in interviews, Leslie Nielsen would bring a fart machine with him, and like he would act like he was like passing gas constantly. So I feel like the fart jokes were kind of in line with Leslie Nielsen's humor. So I feel like that was more like tributing him in a way, and I'm glad that it stayed at fart, because I will say fart jokes are always funny, but that's just my opinion. I think fart joke, they didn't go into poop and pee, and like I think that showed some good restraint on them, and I appreciate them for that. And I liked, and they actually talked about this in an Kiva Schaefer did, how they only did the one OJ joke, because I feel like that showed good restraint from them, because if you did like 10 of them, it wouldn't have been funny anymore, because it's like it's such low-hanging fruit. It's like it's been like 30 years. The man's dead at this point. Finally, he got his wife's killer. But it's just it would have been like too repetitive if he just kept like doing that. So they got the one OJ joke. We got it. We're good. And it was great. It was a perfect joke, even though they kind of ruined it in the trailer. But I will say, still amazing joke. And I love how there did show some restraint, and I appreciated that, because some of the best movies are where directors restrain themselves and don't go too far. I feel like Superman did that. That's probably that's like the least James Gunn movie you could possibly imagine. Alfred Hitchcock, I know that's a leap, but like I'm just saying, he was probably a director that was born in the wrong time, because he was heavily restrained with everything he did, but he was all the better for it. He was the master of suspense. So, I mean, with Psycho and like Dial M for Murder, like he had to like get around the censors constantly, but he did that so very well. And I feel like I liked the amount of restraint, and then you could also tell this was much like Galaxy Quest. This was not laughing at the source material. You're laughing with it. It doesn't shit on the source material. I know, having respect for the source material. Isn't that so amazing, Ryan Johnson? Taika Waititi's. I mean, isn't that crazy?
Schmegma.
Yeah. But like having actual respect for what you're doing. Because like you could tell Akiva Schaffer and the writers, they were fans. You could tell they were huge fans. They Zach mentioned this briefly, where they did its own thing. Like they made it look like an action movie. It wasn't just repetitive or derivative. They did their own thing, but also understood what made those gags and jokes in that first move in any of those Zaz productions so fucking good, is because of like the various things that made it work here. But the thing is, it was the perfect balance of doing their own thing, but at the same time understanding those gags and doing those types of gags again, but obviously different jokes, but like a similar way of doing it, and like all of that. I thought the story was good as well. I thought shitting on AI, brilliant. I mean, it also helps that Kevin Durant kind of looks like Elon Musk, so there is that. But I like shitting on AI, but then it also kind of had like the idea of like making fun of like how when he's talking like, "Hey, Daddy, it's me," and I like how they're like, I want to like be the same as you, but at the same time, totally different. Like it's like making fun of the idea of like a reboot or a requel, where they're like, the commentary on that, like how we wanted them to be so different, but enough of the same and all that. So it does have those bits. It's also making fun of police brutality a lot, but like not like kind of respecting the idea, like, hey, like don't be a piece of shit, but like understanding where we are as the police now, but like not going too far where you're just like fucking berating and preaching to the audience. Just like some gags here and there that like showcase like, we are doing a thorough investigation on Frank Drebin, and then it cuts to a resort. It's like, yeah, I get what you're putting down, and it works. It perfectly works. And I just think that yeah, all the commentary worked, all the jokes works, and I think the storyline worked. It was breezy. Like this thing's less than 90 minutes, guys. You're in and out. It's breezy. It cuts the fat. You're just there to laugh, but also give us a little bit more depth, a little bit of commentary. but nothing to berate you or preach to, and I really appreciated that. So yeah, I think Naked Gun, it had so many positives, and I just absolutely really loved it. It's just like some like my God, when fucking and I thought of Cobra Kai for this. Fucking Paul Walter House started beating up the kids and throwing them into a vending machine.
Yes.
That was great. I'm like, hey, there's Stingray. And then he was like giving the free beer to the kids. And then when everything was okay, they started drinking the beer at the end. That was great. That again, the classic dark humor. I also loved, like, I don't want to say I cried, but it felt kind of like weirdly emotional, because obviously Leslie Nielsen is no longer with us. He's been dead for about 15 years at this point. But like when the owl came in as like Frank Drebin Sr., it was like kind of weirdly emotional, because like, yeah, it's like this is how Leslie Nielsen would have wanted to be remembered, like as this, like, it's a good gag, it's funny, but at the same time, it's like a weirdly touching tribute, and like kind of like the best they could do of Leslie Nielsen giving his stamp of approval, like in a weird sort of way. I don't know, maybe I'm just seeing something that isn't there. I don't know, but I felt that was like weirdly commemorative. And then like when he flies away, he's like, I'm proud of you, son. I'm like, oh my God, this is like actually weirdly nice. But
yes.
yeah, great stuff. But anyway, I've been going on for way too long. I apologize, but I mean, not like the negatives are going to take very long, because I don't think any of us had any major negatives, but those are my positives.
I do want to say like a couple things. I don't know if I'm the only one that thought this, but so like in the original, the villain's plan is to assassinate the queen, right?
Right. I don't really remember the original that much, but yes, carry on.
Am I the only one that thought like Danny Houston's plan was kind of like Richmond Valentine's plan in Kingsman Secret Service?
Yes, I was thinking that exactly. I'm like, this is literally the plot of Kingsman.
Let's just get, like, have it a random device that causes everyone to go fucking crazy. That's literally Kingsman Secret Service.
And the rich people going into the bunker.
Yeah, it's Kingsman Secret Service. Not saying I'm against that, because if you're gonna take inspiration from something, take inspiration from a banger. And Kingsman Secret Service is a banger. Matthew Vaughn, what happened to you, man? But yeah, that was my immediate thought.
Did you get all that? That's another great joke. Oh my God, that was another one of the funny. I can't believe I forgot to mention that joke. Like, yeah, did you get all that?
I also loved the joke with the chief's husband.
Oh, that was great. CCH Pounder, also phenomenal. Love her. I'm just gonna say this. Like, I know they already have an Amanda Waller for the DC. I'm just saying CCH Pounder. She has voiced her in the past. I'm just saying perfect casting for The Wall. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well,
you'll cast her in a Skinamarink sequel?
The Wall, Amanda the Wall Waller. That's her name. That's her nickname.
I know, but I'm just saying, like,
I wasn't sure if you knew, so I'm like, let me just say that just in case.
I know.
Anyway.
Well, as far as the mixed, thanks. I only have one mixed thing, and it's something I'm more forgiving on, but it's something I did really miss in this film. We didn't get the whole opening where the POV in the car driving through shit and all, like in the other movies.
You mean with the police siren?
Yeah, like, dude, I was waiting for that. Like,
I got it today.
Don't get me wrong. The fact that they did everything else so well, I'm willing to be forgiving enough.
I wish it had a siren. That would have been fun.
Yeah, like I will admit I missed that opening gag, but that's it. That's literally the only thing I mixed
that's
on.
Bright. Fuck.
don't know. I'm kind of, even though, yeah, I would say like the title sequence was a little boring because it was just the Naked Gun. I wouldn't have minded have seen like an updated version of that opening.
Yeah.
Well, we did see it at the end credits.
I get why they didn't do it, so
Oh, they
I'm
did
not
in the end
too
credits?
bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
no,
did.
after he punches the screen, and I was about to walk out, and they started doing it. I'm like, oh, let me stay for a bit. But yeah, after Liam Neeson punches the screen, they cut to archive footage of one of the original openings of the
Oh,
police car
shit.
going through, and you know,
Damn. Every movie ever made has a stay for the end credits nowadays. Fuck.
I don't know.
I need
I
to
didn't
start-
stay for Bad Guys too, so
Me neither.
But anything mixed? Like, because like I said, that's pretty much the only one for me.
Uh, I don't know if say this is. I don't know if I'd consider this mixed or more of like a negative. Because I would say the only jokes that didn't work for me were really like the toilet humor, like the fart jokes and stuff.
That's fair.
That was, and the reason I'm putting that in like the mixed is
it didn't ruin
just
the
because
movie
all
for
the
you.
what's that?
It didn't ruin the movie for you or anything, right?
Yeah, it didn't ruin the movie for me
Yeah.
Yeah.
because all the other jokes in this movie worked. So just like those were like, all right, that wasn't as funny. But then we got to something hilarious. Like, all right, that makes up for it.
Yeah.
You can have one bad joke at least. You get
Yeah.
one.
If I had to
But,
say anything, oh, sorry, wait, Devin, were you done?
I was done.
I would say the only thing mixed is like we didn't get the classic theme. Like we got it with the
yeah,
police
too.
sequence, like as we were mentioning, like the well, not really post credit, but like the mid credit of like the reference to like the car going through like buildings and shit like that. We did get the original theme music. I would have liked to have heard it. You know,
During a
it just
montage.
would have been nice to see, like nice to hear. But like throughout the movie, like maybe it's playing on the radio or something, and like I don't know, like make a joke out of it or something. I can't really think of anything else. Also, I forgot to mention a positive. I like the making fun of toxic masculinity. That's always a good thing.
Mhm.
But another thing I'm mixed on because again, it doesn't ruin the movie for me, and it's honestly kind of more of a backhanded compliment. But like, I liked the runtime. I liked it. I liked how breezy it was, but it's just like the movie was also so good. I wanted to see more. I would have watched a 3-hour version of this movie. I get why it didn't. That's why I'm not mad. It's like more of a nitpick or not even a negative. It's just like I loved it so much. I want to see more. Like and you can tell when that's the case. Like for me, Fantastic Four, I wanted to see more, but not in a good way. That was a bad way because I felt like a lot of things were cut out of that movie that shouldn't have been cut. With this, it was like this was so fucking funny and so fucking entertaining and so good. I'm like, I'd watch a 10-hour movie of this or a fucking TV show or something. I would love to see more of this, but like obviously I get why, because they're like boom boom boom, because I feel like if there was more it wouldn't be as good. It would get lost in the pacing and it would be too much and then it wouldn't be as good. But it's just like it's perfect, but like at the same time it's just like I'd see 10 more sequels. I'd see like get like the fact that the critics like this movie, the critics who hate every comedy like this movie, that's a testament to how great it is.
I hate Hunters of Beavers or the Holdovers.
I mean, well, Holdovers that's got Paul Giamatti. That's by the guy who did Descendants. That was like more like not artsy fartsy, but like that's more like that's higher brow than something like Naked Gun. So, but there's a lot of highbrow humor in this, lowbrow humor. But yeah, I would say the only things I'm mixed on is like I would have liked to have seen the original theme like at some point in the movie, but I'm not gonna shake my shit at it. And I wanted to see more, but in a good way, where it's just like I would love to see another trilogy with Liam Neeson as Frank Drebin Jr.
I remember you saying the same thing when we reviewed Weird the Al Yankovic story,
Exactly.
that you wanted more.
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's funny you mentioned that. Oh, sorry.
Because I said this when we talked about Terrifier 3, and I'll bring it up here. Just like with slasher movies, I don't think comedies need to be like super duper long.
They don't.
Like we don't need, like, kind of like how I say, like, we don't need an over 2 hour slasher movie. I don't think we need an over like 2 to 2.5 hour comedy.
No.
Like
I think like
80 minutes to a
100
half hour
minutes
is
at the
fine.
most.
100 minutes, like, that's fine, but longer than that, you're gonna, after a while, you're gonna wear out your welcome.
Yeah, I would say pushing it if it's more story driven than comedy driven, maybe hour 45. That's about the longest you need to go. When you're going 2 hours, that's usually when you have a mix of something like a superhero comedy. Like that makes sense. Like 2 hours, like because that's more story driven than comedy driven. Yeah. So,
And it's
but
funny you
anyway,
mentioned
sorry.
all that. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned all that, John, because if there's anything I'd say about the movie as a negative, and even that's not really negative, is that I want more. Like this movie wasn't short, like in a bad way, but at the same time, it's like exactly. I want more. So
Yeah.
not actually negative, but if I had to say anything as a negative, it'd be that.
Also, nice Sherry Moon Zombie from the Munsters impression.
He fucked the monster
Speaking
so
of shitty
bad.
comedies,
He fucked the monster so bad. I'm surprised Sherry Mooney asked for a divorce.
hey Rob Zombie, when's your next movie coming out? Did this actually kill your filmmaking career? Maybe you should stick to music.
But yeah, like anything negatives, or did we pretty much cover it?
Not really.
Yeah,
I don't have
that,
any. I don't have any negatives. I don't like.
yeah,
I
like
genuinely. I can't think of anything wrong with
yeah,
the
like
movie.
even then, with what I said, that's not even actually like a bad thing. Like for like it's just a
I'm sorry.
testament to.
I love playing with this thing.
No,
I'll
no,
put
that's
it
good.
down here somewhere.
No, I'm actually jealous you got that thing, but that's just a testament to how well paced this movie was. Like it leaves you wanting more in a good way. It wasn't short in a bad way. It's just yeah.
Yeah.
But all right, nope, not that one. All right then. Final thoughts and grades.
Get rid of the negatives banner.
Yep, I'm trying to.
All good.
Yeah, my final thoughts. I thought this was hilarious, fantastic, and the funniest fucking movie we've had in years. I am so happy that comedies, like true comedy like this, is able to make a comeback.
Yeah, and do well too.
Yeah, like well received, both the critics and the box office. Like I hope this does well. Like on the one hand, I hope it does well, but at the same time, I don't want them to take the wrong lessons from it. Like, oh, let's reboot these other comedies and just put Liam Neeson
Right.
in them because, don't like. I mean, we know that's probably gonna happen, but I can dream,
Yeah.
can I? But regardless, I thought this was hilarious. Damn near every joke worked. Even the things that I wanted that this from the originals that this movie didn't bring in, I'm more forgiving on because they did everything else so well. It's like they understood the assignment, they respected the source material, they respected Leslie Nielsen, and yeah, this is right up there with Megan 2.0 and Superman as one of the best films of the summer. And this is without a doubt going to be one of my favorites of the year. So I'm going 9 out of 10.
So I was expecting a funny movie, but I wasn't. But this turned out better than I thought it would be. In my opinion, I would say this is probably a new comedy classic, and an example of a reboot that I think is superior to the original. Like, I would honestly, in terms of like newer comedies, I would put this up there with Weird the Al Yankovic Story or Hundreds of Beavers.
Both are spoofs too.
Yeah, like honestly, like this is how you do parody movies. Freiburg and Seltzer. Like the love and respect for the original is on full display.
Yep.
Because you have a great lead, you have great leads, you have phenomenal humor,
Great writing.
Great writing, like all the ingredients are here. And I do have to deduct half a point just because again the toilet humor doesn't work for me.
To be fair, there wasn't a lot of it though, as you mentioned.
But I will say this is definitely going to be on my favorites of the year. Where it'll be, who knows? But I might be the one that has the highest grade. I'm going a very, very strong 9.5 out of 10. Absolutely loved it.
So I had, as I mentioned, I had pretty high expectations for this, and they somehow exceeded them. I didn't think that would be possible, but I was stoked for this, and this is one of the funniest movies I've seen. It's not like yeah, I enjoyed like Happy Gilmore 2, but that's not like a good movie. It's just fun. Like it's dumb entertainment. This there was a lot of passion involved. It had a genuinely great script. It had great actors to deal with that script and had great direction, and it understood what made those original movies so good, but also doing their own thing. And I think I would love to see more if Akiva Schaffer is interested. If he's not, then I wouldn't like hell. As we said, like if it's just a one-off, sure that stinks because we can't get more. But I would personally love to see more. However, I will say this: missed opportunity by not calling it "Son of the Naked Gun." But I'll
Oh, that would have been
let it
awesome.
slide. But yeah, I don't have anything wrong with it. It's just like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what's preventing me from giving it like a perfect score, but like, I don't know. It's just like I'd give it like a 9 out of 10. Maybe that'll change. Maybe the more I think about it, the better it gets, and then I'll give it like a 5. But 5 out of 5. Sorry, I was thinking letterbox terms. 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10. But for right now, it's at a 9. I would say I wouldn't mind seeing it again. I mean, I still have Together to see, so I don't have time for rewatches right now. So hopefully, I will see that tomorrow. I'm not too sure. We'll see. But yeah, I think this is pretty much as perfect as you could get for a movie. So yeah, great stuff.
Also, John, once again, thank you for mentioning the greatness that is Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching that movie since I was a kid.
I know you guys brought this. I know you guys brought this up on the Happy Gilmore stream. Like you were talking about some of your favorite comedies. Can I mention some of mine?
Sure.
So my favorite comedy of all time is easily Holy Grail. Like from beginning to end, that movie's fucking hilarious. I love Life of Brian. I love Meaning of Life. Young Frankenstein, Spaceballs, Clerks, Jane Silent Bob Strike Back, Dogma, Galaxy Quest. A Weird the Al Yankovic Story, UHF. I'm just looking at my collection here.
What are some good examples of modern ones?
And I know. Get ready for the sucking the dick, sucking this movie's dick joke here. Meh. But Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. I thought that movie was fucking hilarious.
I heard it was pretty good. Like I've yet to check it out, but it's on the list.
And even together was actually like really funny. And I'm not saying like unintentionally funny. Like there was actual like the humor. There was actually like intentional like funny scenes.
Yeah,
And Zach is already getting non flashbacks.
yeah. Like I don't know what you were gonna find more funny, the actual humor in the film or how much the body horror traumatized me.
Both, 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 both is good.
Both was good. Yep.
That's another funny one. I love Hotel Dorado.
Oh yeah, dude, I love that. But
Emperor's
yeah,
I
Emperor's New
mean,
Groove. That's another one.
I mean, Shell. I mean, do we really even need to like? She was the movie.
Yeah,
yeah,
Emperor's New Groove is another one of my favorite
Yeah.
comedies.
yeah. And I just brought it up as a visual gag, but yeah, these are my favorite comedies of all time because it's funny because like Eddie Murphy isn't even like my favorite comedic actor, but yet somehow these movies just do it for me, you know. Just the, especially in the first one, like just a perfect blend of heart and jokes and all that. Like, so yeah, they're my favorite comedies.
This peasant who I saw leaving the city disappeared in the crowd with Cusco in the back of his car. He must have taken him back to the boat because we find the boats and we find him. We find him. We find Cusco. Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
it's all
coming.
it's all coming together.
Yzma, what?
Oh,
This better be good. Or this one. I spent 18 years trying to kill this person. And Devin.
what are those? I don't know. I thought they looked kind of dashing. I've got 24 hours to get rid of this bozo. And the scheme I've been cooking up for 18 years goes up in smoke. And you are wearing his jackets.
I love
Thirsty?
I love Hercules.
Same here.
Like
That movie's so underrated.
no dude for real. Like the remake's gonna fuck it up. You and I both know what it is, but we still
Yeah,
have
I'm not
that
gonna watch it.
original. I probably would either. Like kids, you know
You
me.
said about Snow White, and then you watched it anyway.
Yeah, how many movies have you said you're not gonna watch and then you end up watching? Although to be fair, most of us are guilty of that. Well,
Yeah.
except him.
It
I don't
depends on
know
the
though.
movie.
I
Maybe
don't know
Rob.
though. Like in this
I
case,
I
it's like,
was thinking about watching. I was thinking about watching Skinamarink tomorrow. So.
oh, but John,
I want to
wait,
see
but,
it.
but John, wait. I had a
I'm gonna
better
tell
title in
you where
mind.
you are, man.
Anyway, sorry.
Devin's gonna break into your house, John. Only he's not gonna want one of your sodas.
But you might not. I don't have Dr. Pepper, but I do have Dr. Pepper jelly beans.
I do love Dr. Pepper jelly beans.
I have never had Dr. Pepper jelly beans. That's why I got this bag.
But you know it's funny, John, because like
You get
I
my
thought of a
endorsement.
better title, like Naked Gun, 4 point, whatever, son of a gun.
Yeah, Naked Gun, Son of a Gun would have been good.
Yeah, like
Or naked gun control.
Nah.
but yeah, that's actually something I wanted. Last thing we'll discuss, I guess, before we wrap it up. I mentioned it briefly, but I want to know what y'all think. What do you think the likeliness is that they're gonna take the wrong lessons from this? Like, oh, Liam Neeson made Naked Gun work, so let's just put him in every comedy reboot ever.
Well, he would have to agree to it, right?
Yeah,
Because doesn't Liam Neeson want to retire? At least from action.
Yeah, I think he said something like that. I'm 73 for fuck's sake.
I
Oh, I
will
do.
say, another that reminded me of another gag where it was like a whole like subversion of like the guy's holding like the glass sheet and it's actually a windshield and it gets fucking put
Oh my
onto the
god,
car.
yes.
And he's like, balloons, bees. Great stuff.
Oh no. And I did appreciate like there was another homage to Airplane. Like remember when the police freaking out and then there's the whole line of people like
Yes,
what a
that's my
bunch of
favorite
Yep.
joke.
Keep
They did-
yourself together. Keep yourself together.
That's like my favorite joke in the original film, legit.
they did a I think they did like a reverse of that, but instead it's a line of people coming to Frank Jr. and he's beating them up.
That had to be intentional.
Oh, that was absolutely intentional.
Like,
Although speaking of Leslie Nielsen, I am going to be watching Dracula Dead and loving it for my horathon.
you know what? I might check that out too. Like, just to see what it's like.
Dracula schedule.
Schedule?
But yeah, I think that's about it. Unless there's anything we're missing.
A
Go check it
sequel
out.
to this. We're missing that.
Yes. We'll find out.
You know what I kind of want to watch now because of like Ivor Schaefer? I kind of want to watch Pop Star Never Stopping or whatever the hell it's called. Because I heard that because I mean same director stars Andy Samberg. No, Pop Star Never Stop Never Stopping or something like that. I've heard that that's actually pretty funny, so I'm curious about that too. Because that's also a parody of like pop stars and their lifestyle.
Yeah. In the meantime, what, gentlemen, is our next review?
We are going to be reviewing The Bad Guys 2 tomorrow. And Rob mentioned he was going to host it, but personal things came up, so I will be now hosting that instead. So stay tuned for that. Same bat time, same bat channel.
It's also depending if there's
Nice,
Storm
nice.
Nation tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that actually. Wait, but doesn't that start at 9? Okay, so yeah, we have time.
Okay,
All right.
watch
Yeah.
this movie.
Yep. So our final wrap up thoughts. Go see it. Like, this is comedy comeback at its absolute finest, and I couldn't ask for anything better. So, yep. We will see y'all tomorrow for the return of the former bad guys. See you, fellas. Again, we have brought light into the world. You're welcome, America.